Hello, my name is Anna Krajewska and I'm the Foundation Year course leader. This video is a summary of what we talked about during your student induction. So if you missed something or you wanted to check again, you can watch this video to find out what Foundation Year is all about. So in the induction talk, I started by showing you two pictures of two buildings, and I asked you a question: what do these have in common? Well, it's quite clear that neither of these buildings, although they might be beautiful, neither of them is based on solid foundation, which potentially can lead to some catastrophic results. I wanted to explore the metaphor of foundation because this is what you're going to do this year. You're going to build your foundation to make sure that the houses, your academic houses that you're going to build in the future are based on solid foundations so that you can be very successful in your academic studies. So let's first look at a few definitions of foundations. So first of all, Cambridge Dictionary tells us that foundations are the structures below the surface of the ground that supports a building. Oxford Dictionary tells us that it's an underlying basis or principle, and Merriam-Webster Dictionary tells us that this is a basis upon which something stands or is supported. In the same way, everything that you do this year is and should become the basis upon which you're going to build your academic future, something that is going to support your academic studies in the years ahead. That's why it is so important to focus on each of the skills that we're going to develop this year, and it's so important to put a lot of effort because everything you learn this year is going to pay off. It's something that you're going to keep using in the years to come. So I wanted you to look at academic foundations and imagine that this is almost like a brick wall, and each brick stands for a different academic skill. And there are three kind of groups of skills, three pillars, if you like, in these academic foundations. So first of all, it's academic integrity. Secondly, study skills, and thirdly, survival skills. So all the other things that you need to be able to do, so not necessarily things immediately related to your assessments or to your classes, but things that, skills that you need to have in order to get your head around what's going on at university. So, academic integrity, this is what really matters. Let's look at the definition first. So the Center for Academic Integrity defines it as a commitment, even in the face of adversity, to 5 fundamental values: honesty, trust, fairness, respect, and responsibility. It is from these values that an academic community can flourish. Academic integrity is something that you will be demonstrating throughout your studies, usually through your assignments. So we want and we expect all the students to submit assignments that are a result of their own work. We don't want students to cut the corners. We want students to develop while preparing those assignments. We don't want to award any work that is completed through cheating or through resorting to other academic misconduct offences. So the two most common problems that students have are plagiarism and contract cheating. So plagiarism. Plagiarism is defined as passing off someone else's work, whether intentionally or unintentionally, as your own for your own benefit. So plagiarism is a word that you're going to hear quite a lot, and we are going to explore it in a lot more detail, especially in study and research skills module. Most of the time you you will hear that plagiarism is basically copying and pasting information that you found online or in books into your own work. But of course, there are a lot more other types of plagiarism. Now, another type of academic integrity offense is called contract cheating. And this occurs usually when students don't feel confident enough about completing their assignments, or they really want to do well and they think they can't really achieve the grades that they want to. Or sometimes they are under a lot of pressure and they just simply don't find time to do it, or sometimes they procrastinate and end up having very little time to complete their assignments, so then they resort to cutting corners. So contract cheating is where a student contracts out their academic assignment to writers and purchases back the finished work in order to submit it as their own. Transactions typically occur over the internet, and this is also called as commissioning. But please bear in mind that contract cheating is not just buying essays over the internet. This can also be when you're asking someone to check your work and they make a lot of changes, which then mean that the work you're submitting is not really yours. So we will be talking about different shades of contract cheating a lot more later in the term. And obviously, plagiarism and contract cheating is something we definitely don't want to see in your work. Now, a very important thing to remember whenever you're under stress and you're not sure exactly what to do is that most importantly, we chose you to be here, and we believe in you. We believe that you are capable of gaining a degree without resorting to any form of cheating. We understand that there are challenges along the way, that it might be stressful, that you might need support in developing particular skills. That's why there is a lot of support available to you. That's why this first term in particular is focused around developing really basic skills so that you can achieve your best without resorting to any form of cheating. So if you feel that you need more support, ask your tutors, go to SOS, there's plenty support available. So now moving on to study skills, and this is pretty much everything you're going to do in study and research skills module this term. So let's just briefly mention those skills and you'll explore them a lot more during the term. So study skills will involve research, reading skills, because obviously you'll have to find information and a lot of them will come from books and journals. So you'll have to be able to read them effectively. Then critical thinking. So at university, it's not just about finding information, memorizing the information. No, it's also about using the information in the new context. It's about evaluating. It's about criticizing information. It's about choosing the right information for your assignment. Now, another skill is writing. Most of your assignments will involve some degree of writing, and there are very precise rules as to how to write at university. Presentation skills, some of you may dread that, but it's quite likely that at least once a term you will have to deliver a presentation, individual or group presentation. Another skill, independent learning, very important. Of course, you will have classes, you'll have support of your tutors, but you should spend a lot of time on independent learning, organizing your time, choosing what to revise, applying effective strategies for learning, because you are the one who's truly responsible for your own learning. Your tutors are here to guide you, but the learning and development, this is something that you have to do independently. And of course, developing assignments. This is a study skill which involves a lot of smaller steps, from understanding essay or assignment questions through planning, research, drafting, editing, revising, proofreading. So a lot of small steps that we will be focusing on and developing during the term. So moving on to survival skills, and we are going to focus on each of them in a little bit more detail. So these are the things that we're going to talk about. First of all, classes. So each year you will have you will study 4 modules, 2 modules per term, which means that you will have to attend 12 hours of classes per week. On foundation year, on Mondays you will have 2 lectures. Each lecture will be 2 hours long. Sometimes they'll be around hour and 40 minutes, hour and 50 minutes. You might have a break in the middle or simply finish a little bit earlier. And then you will come on 2 other days during the week for seminar and workshops. They're always in this order. There'll always be first seminar and then workshop. So this time you will have a seminar workshop for contemporary themes and seminar workshop for study and research skills. So each of them is 2 hours long, so your tutor might choose to give you shorter breaks in the middle or teach for an hour and a half or 40 minutes and then have a longer break. So it's up to a tutor. And you are, of course, expected to spend another 12 hours a week on independent study, revising, working on your assignments. So remember, just coming to classes is not enough. You have to put in a lot more work at home on your own. Now, timetable. So you can access the timetable from LSBM website. You have to click on student area and then find timetable. Your username will be your LRN number alone, and the password will be student2QW. And then you will see this. When you log into your timetable, first you're going to see a welcome page, and you will need to find and click the schedule button to access and see your timetable. The best way to view your timetable is to do it by weekly view. This is the best way because sometimes your classes will be taking place in different classrooms. So if you click on the week, on the current week, you will see only the classroom that this week you have to go to. So in order to see your timetable in a weekly view, you have to find this calendar icon and click on it. When you click on the calendar icon, you will see different available options, and we have an example here. This is an example from last year. And at the bottom of this new window, you can see this week. This will take you to the current week that you want to see. And this is the full view of your weekly timetable. This is actually my timetable, and it is timetable for this term. So you can see that on Mondays, I'm going to have lectures of study and research skills and contemporary themes. Of course, you might have your lectures later during the day, or even possibly you might have a gap between your lectures. And you also see that on 2 other days, in this case on a Wednesday and Friday, you have to come in for seminars and workshops. So on Wednesday, and in this example, that will be a seminar and workshop for contemporary themes. So I can see I start at 9 and I finish at 1, and the same on Friday. In yellow, these are seminars. In light blue, these are workshops. And again, on your timetable, you might have different times. So you might start at 9 or at 11 or at 1. And seminar and workshops will always appear in this order on your timetable. So let's look at those boxes in a little bit more detail. So first of all, you can see LSBM 004. This is a module code, and then you have the name of the module. Then in the bottom right corner, you can see the name of the tutor. So if you see my name, that will mean that I'll be your tutor. You will, above the name of the tutor, you will see the week. So that's quite important because sometimes the classrooms will vary depending on a week. And in the bottom left corner is your classroom. Now, you will your classes will be taking place in 6 different buildings. So the beginning signifies which classroom, which building that is. So if the code of the classroom starts with CL, that means Claw Management Center. If it's 43G, that's 43 Gordon Square Room. M, that means Mallet Building, the main Birkbeck Building. 28R, that means 28 Russell Square, 7B stands for 7 Bedford Square, and 99G for 99 Gower Street. So this is the map. As you can see, I pinned all of the buildings where your classes might take place. They're really not that far away if you find that you have to walk from one place to another. I think the maximum walk would be around 10 minutes, which is not bad at all. So moving on to SSP. SSP is the portal that you're going to use to raise various requests and ask for clarification. For example, you might request a timetable change or apply for an extension. We will be talking a lot more about SSP in the first week of your studies. Here's just a brief information on how to log into SSP. So it's basically the same one as when you're logging into your LSBM email or Canvas. Secondly, attendance and punctuality. As you might have heard, you need to swipe your card every time you walk into the classroom. If you arrive more than 10 minutes late, we will know that you were late and we will know how late you were. Now, as you know, attendance punctuality is very important. It's not just for you. It's not just for you to learn what's going on and to be on track with everything, but it's also for other students. So if you come late, you might be disturbing others. If you don't attend regularly, that might also bring some confusion, especially when you're working on group assignments. So we expect from you to be in class on time every week. Now, QEM is a place where you can find all the important information, all the policies, including attendance policy. So simply when you go to our website, search for the Quality and Enhancement Manual, and then in different sections you'll find various important information. And again, we're going to talk a lot more about this in the first week of Studying Research Skills module. So moving on. Digital skills. So a lot of the learning will be taking place online. Canvas is our virtual learning environment. In order to make notes, to prepare your assignments, you will obviously need to use programs from Microsoft Office. You also need to check your emails regularly. It is very important that you go to the Digital Essentials session in week 1. That will normally take place in workshops of Studying Research Skills module. And then all the information that you learn there will be available throughout the term, so you can always go back to Canvas and check if you missed something. So there is a book that should become your best friend, and this book is called Course Handbook. You should all have it by now, a printed copy, and I would encourage you to read it and look for information whenever you're confused in this book. We will be reading it in a lot more detail in the first week, so make sure you bring it to class. Whenever you have a question, first look in the course handbook, and then of course if you're still unclear about something, ask your tutors. And one of the last survival skills, if not most important, is motivation. So first of all, remember that we believe in you. And I put here a few quotes that you might find just useful, entertaining to have a look at. Ability to stay motivated is very important. There will be challenges, but you have to remember that we really think that you can achieve your best, that we want to help you develop all the skills, that we don't want you to give up, that there's plenty of support available. So if you're feeling that you're kind of losing your motivation, come and speak to one of your tutors or speak to SOs, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a little bit of a boost in your motivation. So this is it. At the end of the induction session, we finished with a Q&A. So if you still have questions after after watching this video, contact your tutor or email me directly. And I hope you enjoyed this year, and I hope you develop all those skills that will give you a solid foundation for your future academic study. Thank you.